In Korea, there are many meaningful and original cultures and heritage, including various arts, histories, and figures. Among them, we would like to introduce you to Hwaseong Fortress, which has been recognized for its historical value and is still considered an outstanding cultural heritage.
Hwaseong Fortress is a planned city built during the 22nd reign of King Jeongjo of the Joseon dynasty and centered on the castle architecture of Suwon City. It has been called to be an example of modern military architecture in both the east and west. Hwaseong Fortress has had a profound influence over the centuries on the development of Korean architecture, urban planning, landscaping, and arts associated with them. It is considered the most unique structure in the history of Korean castle architecture, as it showcases the invention and utilization of new technologies, and 18th century science, architecture, and art that incorporated Eastern and Western building techniques. Hwaseong Fortress in Suwon was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997 in recognition of the value of the architecture with different shapes and characteristics, including the defense function and the four gates within the walls. It is a cultural heritage site that has emerged as an icon of Korean traditional history and culture and is becoming a global tourist attraction.
Hwaseong Fortress was built when King Jeongjo moved the tomb of his mother, Prince Sadu, who died later in life after being caught up in a party dispute, from Mount Baebong in Yangju to Hwasan in Suwon, propitious site for a grave in Joseon, and moved the town near the Hwasan to its current location under Mount Paltar in Suwon. Hwaseong was built not only because of Jeongjo's filial piety, but as a center of political initiative with grand political ambitions to eradicate partisan politics and realize a strong royal government, and to serve as a defense fortress south of the capital. Construction of Hwaseong Fortress began in January 1794 and was completed in September 1796, using the Seonghwa written by Jeong Hya-kyung, the bureaucrat of Gyujanggak, as a guide referring to technical books from the east and west. At the time of its construction, new equipment such as Gojungi and Dongro were specially designed and used to move and lay massive stones. Along with the construction of Hwaseong Fortress, many facilities such as temporary palace at Hwaseong Fortress, 중포사, 내포사, and 사직단 were built as accessories, but they were destroyed in the war, and only Nangnamon, which is now part of temporary palace at Hwaseong Fortress, remains. After its construction, Hwaseong Fortress was also used for defense in the Korean War through the Japanese colonial era. But during this period, parts of the castle were damaged and lost. However, from 1975 to 1979, it was mostly repaired and restored to its original appearance, according to the Hwaseong Seongyok Eugye, which is published shortly after its construction.
Hwaseong Fortress is distinguished from Chinese and Japanese forts in that its political, military, and commercial functions. This wrote of new concept of created at Hwaseong to connect it to neighboring areas, such as the Hwaseong Palace at the foot of Mount Podol and the crossroad leading directly to Yongin in front of the Hwaseong Yusbu. To establish Hwaseong as a new center for logistics and international trade, King Jeongjo placed shops and markets around this new road, clarifying Hwaseong functions as a commercial city. Hwaseong was built using scientific method, taking full advantage of the surrounding natural conditions. Later, the new city of Hwaseong became the administrative and military base outside of Seoul, with the Yusbu Department centrally controlled by Prime Minister, along with the existing Kaesong, Ganghwa, and Gwangju Yusbu. Yusbu was an administrative agency established in the seat of government and military posts during the Zhang dynasty. It also became the most important of the four Yusbu, with Jang Yongyang, a member of Jeongjo Personal Army, stationed there. Hwaseong Fortress was a state-of-the-art battle fortress at the time. The perimeter of its walls originally had 48 defenses: 4 gates, sluice gates, observation towers, command posts, multi-extended arrow launching towers, Fire towers, angled towers, secret gates, beacon towers, bastions, and bunkers. The outer walls of the castle were designed to allow the used battle-mount guns that were added to the castle, and each facility was equipped with gun holes to complete the military defense system. In addition, the castle gate was equipped with crescent-shaped defensive wall and osangji, which put out fires. The castle was equipped with brick bastions and turrets, making it the most advanced battle defense facility at the time. Many scientific technologies were used in the construction of the Hwaseong. The most famous of these is Gojungi. It served a great purpose in loading stones from a quarries into carts. It consisted of 4 pulleys, 4 above and 4 below, with an object attached to the bottom pulley and a string that could be pulled to either side of the back pulley. A string was then wrapped around the rail so that as the rail turned, the object was pulled up by the string attached to the pulleys. The biggest feature of the Gojungi was that it introduced movable pulleys to form a compound pulley, allowing it to lift objects with half the force of the object's weight instead of simply using a fixed pulley. For each additional moving pulley used, the required force is halved. The used 11 Gojungis allowed them to save manpower during the construction of Hwaseong by making heavy objects easier to handle, drastically reducing the accident rate and increasing the work efficiency by 4 to 5 times. The second is Nonglo. Nonglo is a device that lifts stones to a height of about 10 meters using the pulley principle of tying a flag to the end of a pole, which has been around for a long time. A square frame is made of a square wood. 2 long poles are set on an angle at the front of the frame, and a pulley is attached to the top of the pole, and on a rail is installed at the back of the wooden frame. The idea was to attach a piece of copper line to the pulley, attach the object to be lifted to the opposite side of the line, and then spin the pulley around the line to lift the object.
Third, there are Yeojang and Misok. Yeojang is a low wall on a castle, and Misok is the black bricks sandwiched between the ramparts and Yeojang. Misok were used to prevent water from seeping through the gaps in the ramparts, freezing and causing the walls to collapse under the force of the volumetric expansion. Finally, there is Yuhyongo. Yuhyongo is a cart that carries construction materials such as stone and wood. It is extremely efficient, with the equivalent of 362 days of work with 100 regular carts versus 159 days of work with 70 Yuhyongo. There is one heritage that contributed greatly to Hwaseong Fortress being registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That is Hwaseong Seongyok-ugwe. Hwaseong Seongyok-ugwe is the royal book of Joseon Dynasty that recorded the construction process and other matters in writing and pictures during the construction of Hwaseong Fortress. It contains the countermeasures about various weapons, various construction methods, daily diaries, and the types and quantities of used materials. In order to restore Hwaseong in the 1970s, people referenced elements that were important for the construction, such as the overall appearance, the interior and the exterior of major facilities, and the construction tools. Thanks to this, Hwaseong was able to be restored close to its original form, and was unusually listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and in 2007, Hwaseong Seongyok-ugwe was also listed as a UNESCO Memory of the World in recognition of these values. Hwaseong Fortress in Suwon is a magnificent cultural heritage site that we get a sense of the unique beauty of Korea and the skill of its builders in those days. We hope this video will help you understand the value and significance of Hwaseong Fortress. That's all about Hwaseong Fortress in Suwon and the climax of Korea's history and cultural heritage. Thank you for watching.